Oh, there you go. There you go. This guy's choking himself with new sneakers every morning.
No, they're not new.
Well, new to me. New to me. Mr. Fashion, Mr. Shoe Fashion.
Oh,
good morning.
You're talking shit. We're live. That makes sense. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I don't want everyone to know how I compliment you when we're off camera.
You got to move.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Tuning in early on a Sunday morning. Yeah, we couldn't wait until 9. This are we going to have enough discipline to talk about how shitty the Knicks looked and how soft Cat is, or do we just get to the absurdity?
I yield to Robin, but I think we can just get into why everybody's here.
He's a New Yorker. Do you want to get any Knicks stuff off your chest, Robin, or should we just go with how you feeling today?
This is more the same. Any of the New York fans out there that are subscribed to my channel who have heard me speak about the New York Knicks over the last several seasons, I've been telling you guys what. I'm not a believer in Jalen Brunson. I'm not a believer in Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not a believer in the Knicks as far as their inconsistent play. They often play down to their competition, and they often don't raise their level of play, oftentimes when the good teams come in or the teams that they should beat. You're telling me that you get basically beat handedly by a Los Angeles Lakers team without their best player last night? And you want us to believe in you as a true contender for an NBA championship? I just don't see it. I've been saying this all year. That's why I refuse to do videos on the New York Knicks. I refuse to do any videos on my channel, the New York Knicks. I do not believe in Karl Anthony Towns. I've never been a believer in him. And a lot of these New York Knicks fans out here been telling me, oh, Robin, come on, man. You got to give them a break, man. They've been doing their thing. They're a good team, blah, blah, blah. They might be a good team. Good teams don't win championships, man. So once again, I don't see them winning a title. And once again, the Knicks did what we've seen all season long. How many times have we seen this season a team win by 20, 30, 40 points, and then the next time they play, they get beat by 20, 30, 40 points?
Exactly. 93Z was on here yesterday, and he was excited that the Knicks were going to beat down the Lakers. And I was like, well, you don't know what to expect in this NBA from game to game.
I was listening to you guys.
Yeah.
I was listening to you guys.
I put the link up for you to call like 30 times.
I know. I got caught up, man. I listened to the first hour, and then I had to go do something. That's why I couldn't come on. My bad, AOH.
No, I'm sorry. We should have gotten you in earlier.
No, but I was listening to what you guys were saying about the Knicks, and even he was reluctant, to really say, hey, I think the New York Knicks are going to do X, Y, Z. And I was listening to a lot of people say, oh, the New York Knicks are going to beat the Lakers. Watch the New York Knicks embarrass the Lakers. And I knew, and not necessarily that the Knicks were going to lose that game, but when I was watching the game and the Knicks were losing by 3, 4, 5 points, and they weren't winning by 3 or 4 or 5 points, they weren't pulling away from the Lakers, once again, without their best player, I knew it spelled doom and trouble for the New York Knicks, man. And they went out there and embarrassed themselves.
I know what you mean. From the first period, I was like, okay, this doesn't look right. Something's wrong here. Yep. Not to mention the easy shots they were missing. Not to mention that Reeves was manhandling Cat. Rui Hachimura looked like the big man out there. Oh, jeez. Hey, I tell you what, they were missing Hartenstein last night. They could have used a little Hartenstein action. Maybe even a little of DiVincenzo's grit.
For real.
Oh, well, whatever. That was shockingly embarrassing to watch. Yep, 30-point blowouts left, right, upside down in the NBA. I think there are more 30-point blowout games than there are close games.
Think about it. The New York Knicks just beat the Denver Nuggets, and they made Nikola Jokic look pretty pedestrian out there while doing so. So you might be like, oh, the New York Knicks might be for real. They might have turned the corner. And then they go out there and lay this egg versus the Los Angeles Lakers on their home court, man. This is what we're talking about, the inconsistent play of these teams.
All right, so I can't stand it anymore. What the actual hell is happening?
Hey, real quick. What's Brunson's contract?
I don't know, but he's getting paid.
No, because I know he took a big sacrifice for the Knicks.
He did take a pay cut.
In terms of a pay cut, yeah. So I'm going to be curious to see how that pans out in the playoffs.
So I admittedly don't watch the Mavericks, but I'm usually hearing that Luka Doncic is the next thing, and he's just mind-boggling. He's been overshadowed this year by Shea and fucking sorry, I got no sleep last night, and Jokic. But it's really weird. Like how did the Lakers have any draft picks left at all to use? And how did they only have to use like what, one? And
rounder.
Yeah, and the Lakers also got Keebler, or you guys don't have to talk for me. I honestly got no sleep. And here's the funny thing about Markieff Morris. Nobody thinks about him. He's another big body. He's another person to punish people in the playoffs. Like, I'd love the Warriors could certainly use him. He'd be the biggest guy on the Warriors, as small as he is on the Lakers or the Mavs. He'd be the biggest guy on the Warriors.
Was he the twin that got into it with Jokic and played the victim?
I think it was Markieff.
Yeah, okay. He's a goon. He's a goon. He's whatever. Oh, what's that you're asking me? Oh, these are just Luka Doncic's sneakers. Good segue. Let's talk about that. Real quick, I can't stand how they're already overcompensating for, LeBron saying he was at dinner. He had nothing to do with it. Didn't know anything
they
about
were
it, blah,
covering.
Blah, blah.
They
reported on that more than they reported on the trade almost. And
it was damage control from the beginning. They were like, people
seriously,
are going to.
Which makes it look even worse. And then when you have McNenaman and Windhorst, who are all LeBron guys, coming to his defense before anything's even spoken, I mean, that kind of tells you everything you need to hear. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to start with that because I feel like people aren't going to really talk about it.
Again, they almost make it more suspicious with their damage control ahead of time. We all know who runs the organization. Come on. And I've got the screenshot to make sure that we talked about it. I didn't get it ready to load up here, but I am looking at this is from Sports Center. How LeBron found out about the trade. Okay, well, we should definitely believe whatever you have to say. And one other thing, ESPN actually posted this. LeBron told us, and they highlighted a post from May 16th, 2022. Luka, he's my favorite player. Now, ESPN, how can you think that's a good thing to post, that LeBron just gets whatever he wants? And by the way, LeBron goes around the league sucking on people, trying to preemptively set up his next super team all the time. I mean, he wanted Curry pretty badly. And
who isn't his favorite player?
Exactly.
He's like a barnacle, just like on the back of some whale or something, just kind of attached to it until it's relevant. He's like basketball's Nicki Minaj or something. He just kind of hangs around until the next big thing comes up, and then he attaches himself to it. He was best friends with Steph Curry, like you said, a month ago? They grew up together. They went fishing together. They trained together. And now him and now Doncic and him, I guess, are European ambassadors. So
right,
we'll see.
Right. And Curry turned LeBron down, and yet the news was still that Curry wanted to play with LeBron. And you know what I heard Windhorst say in a post? He said, instead of the story that Kyrie rejected LeBron, now Windhorst's story is that Kyrie was trying to get LeBron to come to Dallas. Did anyone hear that ever before? I never heard that before. I can't say if it's true or false, but I never heard a freaking inkling of that. And I can't imagine Kyrie wanting LeBron. I just can't.
I mean, listen, what I saw when I turned on the TV this morning from ESPN, from Ramona Shelburne and her expertise and her wisdom, representing ESPN, what they were doing was they were once again creating a narrative. See, this all goes back to that word narratives, guys. Because what are they trying to do there? They're trying to create the narrative and control the narrative around LeBron James. Like you said, all of a sudden now, LeBron James is furious. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know. How did LeBron James find out? And what they were talking about on ESPN is that they were trying to create a narrative that this was similar to the situation for Kobe Bryant and the Lakers when they got Pau Gasol in that trade. So they're trying to paint the picture that it's the same thing. Are we really to believe that Pau Gasol and Luka Doncic are somehow on the same level or at the same point in time of their careers when the Lakers acquired them? It's not the same thing, but this the narrative that they're trying to tell you and show you. They're trying to say, hey, this move is just as surprising as the Lakers getting Pau Gasol. Oh my God, they got Pau Gasol. This is just as no. This they said on ESPN just 5 minutes earlier that this was the first time in NBA's history that two All NBA players had been traded for each other in the middle of the season. So how the hell could this be anything related or close to what the Pau Gasol move was for Kobe Bryant and the Lakers back when they made that move? It's insane. So once again, they're creating the narrative here again. Yo, shout out to Uncut Hoops.
Oh yeah, shout out to Uncut.
I see him in the chat.
Robin, like tomorrow they're going to be talking about where he ate dinner, what he ate for dinner, where his kids were. They're going to do whatever they can to make it seem like he had no idea. But it's no different than the AD thing. It's no different than the Russell Westbrook thing. It's going to be crazy seeing Luka become a scapegoat, though. I'm going to say that.
LeBron, I mean, at this point, with the moves that the Lakers have made to appease LeBron James, like everything is, you're upset again. Sorry, what can we do for you? It just doesn't seem possible that LeBron didn't have his hand in this. Now, we probably, the three of us can agree on that. Do you think that AD knew?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think AD wanted it?
Listen, if you think about it for a second, let's be real here. It was all right there. It was being laid out. So let's remember, Luka Doncic went down with the calf strain, right? So when you think about a calf strain, that's one of those injuries where it's going to really stay with you all season long. You can't really, either you take the whole season off and you try to recover and come back 100%, or you're going to have to deal with some kind of discomfort throughout the season. But what you noticed was they did what to Luka Doncic? They put him on the shelf. They weren't worried about him coming back. No one was really making a big deal about this. He was kind of just out. So what does that show you? That they were trying to keep him preserved for what? Just in case they got to trade him to another team. They got to make sure that he's still healthy, he's good to go. And what they do with Anthony Davis, when Anthony Davis missed that last game, they sent a report out and they said that the Lakers are shutting down Anthony Davis for the rest of the week. They were going to shut him down for the week. So what does that show you? That they had something in the works already. They don't want Anthony Davis to go out there and do anything to jeopardize whatever he's dealing with right now. Let him take the week off. We're going to shut him down for the week so we can once again make some kind of deal behind the scenes. Whether Anthony Davis knew about it, I think it's kind of irrelevant because once again, when we think about LeBron James and the narrative they're trying to create, are we made to believe that someone who basically owns his own, agent, company, the clutch company, you're telling me he wasn't really privy to what was going on? Come on, man. He knows all the moves. He knows everything that's going on. It's literally the LeBron James Lakers, man. That's what they are right now.
Can I, real quick, AOH, before we keep going, one thing that I noticed that nobody's really talking about yet is if and when Luka comes on this team, if you see his technical fouls go down dramatically, all that's going to do is further cement that the fix is in. You're going to have probably the two biggest complainers in the sport on the court at the same time that are neither one of them are ever wrong. And you can have like a half's worth of delay a game between the two of them, right? So it's like, if you see that fall, I mean, I don't know. It kind of hurts LeBron's legacy if you really think about it. There's very little upside to it.
If you look at the mentality of LeBron fans, there's nothing LeBron can do to hurt his legacy.
Oh, touche. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, honestly, and you look at the media just covering every ridiculous thing that he does. If you're willing to listen to them, I don't know. I guess he's got his bases covered. I've said it many times. LeBron James could walk out on the court and rip a puppy's head off and drink its blood, and they'd be like, well, he's earned this.
That puppy said something racist to him.
All this is going to do is further highlight everything that we've been talking about on these videos, man. We've been talking about on our channels. This, once again, another narrative debunked by LeBron James himself when they try to tell us that he makes everyone around him better, that he can do more with less and all these things. Once again, another player who had to carry LeBron James to a championship, someone who had to sacrifice his own integrity, sacrifice his soul, so to speak, to play for LeBron. Let's not forget how Anthony Davis got to the Lakers, guys. Let's not forget that. It's a very important story that we tell there. When LeBron James went to the Lakers, he went there by himself. There was no one that came to the Lakers with him. He went there by himself. And what happened that first year? Not a damn thing. You guys remember what happened. LeBron James went down with a groin injury. He missed a bunch of games in a row. And then he told us that he was going to have to activate playoff mode a little bit earlier. That's what he told us because the Lakers were falling behind the standings. He's going to activate playoff mode earlier to get the Lakers in the playoffs. That was his words. And what happened, guys? They started to lose more games, even when he came back after activating the mode. So in the offseason, they made a move to get rid of Luke Walton, to get rid of a bunch of other key players. We all know the names. And what happened that very next season? Anthony Davis requested a trade to come to the Lakers. He didn't want to play on New Orleans anymore. These are the maneuvers that happen for LeBron James. I want all the LeBron James fans out there to do something. And I want you guys to think about this. If you go back in the history of LeBron James teams and you look in the rosters, let's say, the amount of people that have actually laced up for LeBron James-led teams, you'll see numbers like 25, 22, 23, 27. These are the numbers that you'll see on the rosters. So what does that mean? In an NBA, throughout a season, if you're making moves, if you have a free agent or you sign someone and then you waive them and then you sign someone else to fill that spot, now you have someone who actually laced up for your team. They were on your roster. They suited up for your roster. If go back and look at the Cleveland Cavaliers of 2018, there's so many people on that roster. 25 different guys suited up for that team. These guys, look at all the average amount of guys that have been on the Lakers squad. 24, 25 guys on these rosters, man. Every season, man, they got to make all these moves.
Yep. Let me acknowledge Bladed Raider 78 with a super chat. Ramona Shelburne dreams of peanut butter covered chicken wings. Also, Queen Lebronica strikes again. Of course, Her Majesty knew about everything. Yeah, so Ramona is that complete blob. I'm sorry, I don't like. Sorry, I tolerated obesity when there were a handful. Now there's a handful of non-obese people. It's just out of hand.
Blob's just a funny word. I don't know.
Come on, people, fucking start walking.
Yeah, but listen, it's what happens when you don't make good reporting. These people report nonsense. How are you going to say that's just as shocking as a move as Pau Gasol going to the Lakers, as Luka Doncic going to the Lakers for Anthony Davis? That's insane, man. No one thought this kind of move. Once again, the Lakers traded their best player for a guy who is basically like, I made a video earlier this year talking about how Luka Doncic has basically become the European version of LeBron James. Like you said, Speed, you hit it on the head. The way that he plays the game, he's always crying around, flopping around. Like these guys, like it's insane, man.
I won't know which camera angle to use when the TNT overtime games are on, because I usually put it on LeBron. I need one on both of them to see who stands the most and complains the most, to have a side-by-side comparison at the end of the game. People can put their bets on it, but it'll be harder. Well, you would think it would be harder for people to point out Luka's complaining when he's actually standing right next to another guy complaining. But
maybe they'll cancel themselves out.
Like you said, there'll be no technical fouls given.
So real quick, I think somebody said this, Robin, in either your live or AOH's. I just want to repeat this. Someone said that LeBron James is the type that closes the fridge with his hips. And I just want to repeat that because I think about that. It's just like, was that okay? I just want to repeat that for everybody else to hear, because it's like one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
He set screens with his hips.
Oh no, you're right.
He just backs his ass into people.
That's bad good right there.
A few things though. You guys watched basketball when we saw a Chris Paul trade basically get denied. So who would have thought this is where we are now? That's A. Or not trade. I guess it was a free agent situation, whatever. B, this actually has a lot to do with sneakers, in the sense that Luka, when he originally came to Nike, LeBron tried to recruit him, and that's when this whole Luka's my favorite player, I can't wait to play with him BS started. Luka went to Jordan brand instead, which tells you everything you need to know to begin with. But also, this anti-European stance that's in the league right now, it's going to be really interesting to see how that pans out on the Lakers now that Luka's there with still the face of the league. It's going to be a marketing crisis when you have other players still pissing and moaning about European players, but Luka's on the Lakers.
Or it's perfect for a Gilbert Arenas, because when it fails, Who are you going to blame? Shouldn't have brought that European over to the Lakers.
That's genius. You're right.
I mean, you know what? It also makes me think what you're talking about, Speem, because I mean, the way you're talking right now is like it's almost a scenario where they're gonna have to move LeBron James, man. Like, how could you basically keep LeBron James here? Is this what was coming down? Remember, there's 4 days, I believe, left until the trading deadline. So we really don't know. Is this a setup for them to think about after LeBron James? Is there something going on behind the scenes where LeBron James is going back home to Cleveland? Remember, the Cleveland Cavaliers are a very good team right now, man. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron James, trying maybe to go back there and, hey, I'm coming home to finish my career in Cleveland, man. And they'll try to make that narrative, right? So they won't let it be a narrative where, hey, LeBron James is trying to, jump on the bandwagon of the Cleveland Cavaliers season. They'll sell like, hey, LeBron James going back home to get the Cleveland Cavaliers over the hump. They can't win it without him. They need LeBron James. That's
Right,
how they'll
of
sell
course.
that narrative. So I wonder, like you said, is this going to be able to work out? Are we going to see Luka Doncic and LeBron James play? Because, like you said, it's almost a scenario like we saw that one year when they had Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, and we were like, how is this going to work? How is it going to work?
Super chat. Infamous style. Thank you. Lakers receive Mario 64 Luka with no defense.
Ah!
Does Luka look worse this year? I've watched him that little. I'm afraid I have to admit.
It'll be interesting to see what Nick has to say later today on the Sunday show. He's a big Dallas Mavericks guy. He follows them very good. So it'll be interesting to see what he thinks about this move and what he really feels about Luka Doncic going forward. Because like you guys mentioned, when you get rid of Anthony Davis, man, let's say they keep LeBron James and they're going to go forward with this team. Let's say Luka Doncic comes back 100% healthy and you're going forward for the rest of what do they got, like 30 games left in the season, whatever it is. Luka Doncic doesn't really answer any of the questions or problems for the Lakers this season. The Lakers are one of the worst defensive teams in the league. He doesn't really help them in that category. And they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. Now, on paper, Luka Doncic rebounds the basketball, but is he one of those guys like an Anthony Davis who's going down there for the offensive rebounds and is going to do the dirty work boxing out guys so these guys can get their rebounds? I don't know. So for me, losing Anthony Davis and getting Luka Doncic, what is that doing for you?
I'll read another super chat here. The Sandman Morrison. Did the Lakers trade their best player in AD to piss off LeBron and get him to give up his no trade clause? That is incredibly expensive, but I can see doing it to rebuild and AD gets to be a power forward. Well, AD, I guess, as far as the position, got what he wanted, but why would the Lakers grow a pair of balls now? Why would the organization grow a pair of balls right now? And why would AD grow a pair of balls right now? Like, a lot of people are like saying they're happy for AD. And I kind of want to be, but AD's been the willing abused spouse in this for a long time. You got to, I guess everybody has their limit, but is that really what happened? There was a threshold?
I'm going to step out on a ledge here, but I'm thinking that they've already phoned the season in and they're banking on this just being labeled as the biggest trade in NBA history, and that's why it's already being called that.
You mean it's another gimmick?
I honestly think that. I think that, again, it's kind of a no-lose for LeBron, because if they win, it's because he made Luka great. He got him in shape and all that stuff. If they lose, like you said, he's just a European player. And now you're selling Luka Lakers jerseys, which I'm sure will sell, probably outsell LeBron's jersey. And now they are the biggest, again, the biggest gimmick probably in sports. Again, not because of basketball. And, between this and the Bronny stuff, it's wild to me that in 2025, Anthony Davis is leaving the Lakers before Bronny James. That's just insane to me. But again, it's not about basketball. And this just further shows that. Trading AD when you have no defense as it is and no paint presence, and then your only other paint option is a dude that beats his girlfriend. Well, that's a bunch of them. One of the dudes that beats his girlfriend, you don't want to win, period.
I recognize some names on here that were on Uncommons Live last night. What's up to everybody who's joining us this morning? We'll probably open the phone lines a little bit later. Appreciate the super chats coming in. We'll definitely keep up with the super chats. We got sports and fitness rants here this morning. We have Steam Engine. I got to tell you, hearing your voice again after listening to you on basketball last night, Richard Jefferson, is a little bit too much right in a row.
Yeah.
But
Long way to get to a bad joke.
it was. That was, like I said, no sleep. That was terrible delivery. If I take any longer to spit something out, I'll sound like FYF. Micah Robinson, super chat. Get ready for Braun to get traded to Golden State or Phoenix. Jesus Christ. As if Golden State needs any more humiliation. I think Pelinka and Genie did an end round on Braun before they go down. Luka is going to replace LeBron. See, that's feasible, but is LeBron going to leave when they want LeBron to leave?
Right.
No.
And that's what I was talking about with the narrative. Like, like they said, someone said something about the no trade clause. So when we think about these things, the no trade clause is all about you controlling your narrative. That's not going to allow the team to manipulate you whenever you don't want to be manipulated, to move you to a scenario that you don't want to be moved to. That's all about that. That's all that is. So if LeBron James controls a narrative and he's allowed to go wherever he wants to go, then he has no problem being traded there. That's what that's about. So like I said, if he can sell the narrative and somehow find a way to backdoor himself into a championship, let's say, like I said, if he can go to the Cleveland Cavaliers, let's say, and they don't have to give up much, and they can sell it as LeBron James putting them over the hump. Oh, they need this move. It's not that they need the move. They don't need LeBron James and Cleveland Cavaliers, but they'll sell it that way. That'll be the narrative. Like you said, if he goes to Phoenix or the Golden State Warriors, they'll sell it that he's going there to help Steph Curry. Oh, he's going in to help Steph Curry to get, like, if they can go on one magical run. Oh, they were rivals, and now they're teammates. Let's see what they can do. That's how they'll sell it.
That's exactly what it would say.
Nobody with the Diddy jokes after you talked about backdooring.
Yeah, that was a good one. I missed that one. See? Damn it.
Cash, good to see you in here. Thank you for the super chat. Quote, his son may bang my ex. Okay, can't be a real quote, but I'll read it anyway. But MJ would never trade me or Rodman away mid-season. Goats don't need to do those things, Pippen.
I can picture him saying that in his weird, deep, grumbly voice, too, with his braids.
Yeah, at this point, who knows? I mean, Pippen said some crazy crap.
Yo, but listen, that's what I was saying earlier, guys, about the amount of people on the rosters. I want you guys right now to go look at how many players on the Chicago Bulls rosters throughout the time that Michael Jordan was there. The most amount of players was 17. 17. That's not even the least amount of players that LeBron James had. Like I said, he's always in the mid-20s with roster moves. And some of those seasons the Bulls were winning championships, they had 12 guys on their rosters, 13, 14 guys on their roster. They were winning with what they had. They weren't making moves every season, manipulating guys, moving guys here, moving guys there. Hey, wait, you said something yesterday with my man 93 Zay. You were on yesterday, and I see him in the comment section right now. Yo, shout out to my man 93 Zay.
Oh, Zay, you want to come on?
Where'd they get this random guy from on the Lakers? All of a sudden, they got this random guy. Like, how do they always find some random guy? That's how. Because they got 25, 24 guys on their rosters, man. They're just pulling guys out of thin air, man.
That's why that's what I said with Zay. I was like, where'd this Jennison guy come from? Another 6'11" dude. I never heard of him. He wasn't in the G League. He wasn't, just honestly, anyone know? It's like he fell from the sky.
No one else is really talking about. This is one more top 5 MVP player that LeBron is playing with.
Yeah, well,
damn near one more top 3 NBA MVP player. Luka finished second or third last year in MVP, right?
Yeah, like I said, if they play this season, man, you're right. There's no excuse for the lack of help. Right. Man. Come on.
It's almost worse. It's got to be worse for him because now they're going to look back and say, well, you played 25 years, you played with X amount of MVPs, X amount of All-Stars, and you finished with 3.5 championships.
Pippen will be the undisputed GOAT, and Jordan got carried by Pippen. That just destroys the rest of anything bad you want to say about LeBron. Before I read some more super chats, to all the LeBron supporters and haters out there, regarding AD and the potential of what AD could do for the Mavericks, I do want to see AD stay healthy. And even if he shows us that inside he's soft and not just his body is soft, then so be it. At least we'll know. But I would like to see AD have a chance to do what he can do and receive some acknowledgement from teammates. AD, please stay healthy. And if you fail, you fail, but fail healthy so that whether we were right about you carrying LeBron or not, just show us something. Show us what you're capable of. Well, he has been. What am I talking about? He's been playing both sides of the ball great. But
let the truth come out.
Yo, I want you guys, Speed, think about this. Think about the potential down the line here this season for LeBron James. A disastrous moment for LeBron James. You have Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving now on the same team with the potential to lead their teams to a championship this season. Could you imagine just the headlines? Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving win a championship this season. Dallas Mavericks, man. Are you kidding me? 2 former teammates of LeBron James. They're out there winning the championship. It would be laughable, man. Once again, I'm telling you right now, it'd be just crazy.
I don't think that can be allowed. I don't think Adam Silver can allow that. That's too damaging.
You'll see someone assassinated before you see that.
We'll have the Nancy Kerrigan
situation.
We'll have somebody rolling out there with a baseball bat to the knees.
Was that Nancy Kerrigan and the other one? What was her name? Smack the chick in her knee right before the ice skating thing. I'm one of these LeBron fans watches ice skating. I'm sure. Ask them. John
Petit, super chat. Thank you, sir. Everyone was complaining about LeBron and how he plays. Congratulations, you got LeBron 2.0. Good luck the next 10 years. Now listen, can Luka, is this really who Luka is? Is he does anyone think that Luka at some point can, I don't know, get in shape? And it's not like the league is full of super ripped dudes. But is this who Luka is? And guess what? When he almost won MVP, I don't remember him exactly looking that cut. Not everybody has to look cut up to play well, but he does need his cardio, and you can be a big boy and have cardio.
Yeah, listen, Luka doesn't move well in the basketball court, man. All right, he just doesn't. When we talk about the overall game, the way the game is played today, they keep telling us these guys are bigger, stronger, faster, but that is not necessarily the case, man. The things that we talk about on the defensive end for Luka Doncic, we talk about the effort, the want to, and the ability of some of these guys. They just don't have it. A lot of these guys put all their energy and effort into the offensive end now. That's all they do. So we talk about, these guys not really putting the energy and effort into what they're doing in the off season or what they do off the basketball court. Dude, sometimes because I'm into health and fitness, and you guys know this. Sometimes when I see these guys post videos of their quote-unquote workouts or the exercise that they do, it's laughable at best, man. These are fluff workouts. These are not actual workouts. When I grew up watching guys like Jerry Rice, guys like Walter Payton, and you see footage of guys like Michael Jordan working out, it's a completely different thing, guys. They worked out like grown men. Grown men, not these little fluff workouts, man. These little nonsensical things that they do. They're using all these weird machines and all these. You look at some of these guys are doing. I laugh at this stuff, man. That's not going to keep you in shape. That's not going to keep your body prepared. Also, we must once again go back to the mental fortitude. Are we sitting to believe that these guys are dealing with things that are worse than the guys in the past we're dealing with? It's the same stuff. It's that the guys were more willing to go through these things, and these guys are not willing to do that today.
You know what these NBA players do now for workouts? They do what I am willing to do. I will never work out anymore to the point to where I'm in pain the next day. Now, when I was younger and playing sports, we were in pain a lot. And the guys you just mentioned, like Walter Payton, their workouts were punishment. Like they punished themselves so that their bodies would be ready for war. NBA players today are never prepared for war, and it shows. Like anything at all causes them to go down.
They're prepared to influence. They're not prepared to be in shape. That's why Luka looks like, I'm a Pittsburgh guy. He looks like rookie year Ben Roethlisberger, because rookie year Ben Roethlisberger was a phenomenal athlete for his size and didn't really have to be in the best shape possible. Luka and him are basically the same person. No one's going to make him get in shape, just like no one's going to make Zion get in shape, because unless it's in front of a camera, it doesn't mean anything. Back in the day, those guys were doing Navy SEALs workouts. I'd love to see anybody on the Lakers do that. Now,
Ben had to scramble a couple of yards every now and then. He didn't have to run up and down a court.
Even if guys aren't necessarily training hard in the gym, let's say, like we're talking about, you know what I'm saying? And they're not the workout warriors. It's also things like I said, keeping yourself right by eating the right things, right? Putting the kinds of things in your body that you should be doing, especially during the season. If you want to have some fun during the off season, by all means, man, to each his own. But during the season, that's part of being a professional, is keeping yourself ready. So, maybe not drinking or smoking, and not eating bad things. That's keeping yourself prepared, man. A lot of these guys, I think they don't think about those kinds of things, man. These are the kinds of things that we're alluding to. Keeping yourself ready, which will help your body stay ready. These guys go down now with these nonsensical injuries. You saw Paul George go down the day with a pinky injury, dude, and you wanted a no trade clause. That's what you wanted? When we talk about something like love of the game and going out there and having that pride and feeling like, you have to go out there and prove that you deserve that money that you got, and, you're talking about that love of the game. These guys should be going out there and not necessarily be worried about some of these little nicks and bruises. AOH, you said something also yesterday about these guys now, they want to play at 100%. No one really wants to play through anything. Everyone has to be 100% now to play the games instead of maybe playing when they're 90% or 85%.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you guys, you guys weren't on here yesterday, but I'm sure if you heard it, you related. Were you guys ever not with something partially injured on your body playing through high school? And if you played college, something on your body was at least partially injured.
Absolutely. Like you said, think about like back in the day. Listen, I played football all through high school. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about the things that we do it now, they talk about concussions and how, kids at young ages should be looked at and things of that nature. I remember many times, man, playing Pop Warner football coming up and being days coming off to the sidelines. And I don't know if I had a concussion. I'm not a doctor or anything, but I probably did, man. But you just kept on playing. You shook it off. I remember times coming to the sideline days and your coach would be like, yo, good play, and slap you in the helmet. That's not helping me out right now, coach.
But that's all you played for was that compliment, because I'm pretty sure none of us were getting paid in high school. It was the love of the game, and it's really sad that the pros that we watch on TV don't have love for the game. Now, when we talked about Luka being fat and the rumor that the Mavs traded him because of that, I did hear Commissioner Dynamo make a point that, well, wait a minute, Zion's been fat and unplaying for most of his career, and they're not scrambling to get rid of him. Like, something about this trade is really, really, really weird. A lot about it is really, really weird.
It's been that way with pretty much all of his moves, which is again why we do what we do. There hasn't been a transaction that's involved LeBron James that wasn't under scrutiny, and that's not because it's him. That's because for however you feel about the process, how he does things is different from how everybody else does things, which technically means privilege. So, I don't understand why people get confused why we're on here talking about it.
Let me catch up.
Speam, you're right, man. Like, if you guys really think, and I was just thinking about this when you were talking, Speam, because you made me think about this, because you start to think in your mind. Like you said, let's think about some of the people that have played on the roster, like I mentioned earlier, the names on the rosters with LeBron James throughout his career now. You have names like Dwayne Wade on the Cleveland Cavaliers, not the Miami Heat. He played with Dwayne Wade on the Cleveland Cavaliers. People forget that. They don't remember this. Guys like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose played with LeBron James. People forget this. Guys like Ben Wallace. You guys remember Ben Wallace played with LeBron James? You guys remember a guy named Shaquille O'Neal? This guy named Shaquille O'Neal played with LeBron James. Yep. How many names have I mentioned? There's all kinds of crazy moves that have been happening. We talked about the one with Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, all this crazy nonsense. The one with Anthony Davis. These are all crazy moves because this is what LeBron James has needed. Think about it. He's needed all of that, all this stuff that we mentioned, super teams, all the trades, all these roster moves to go 4-6 in the NBA Finals.
It's amazing to me, the mentality of LeBron fans to think that no matter what happens, it just wasn't the right fit because of everyone else's fault. How many freaking examples do you need? And yet Michael Jordan got it right the first time. Luckiest man on the planet. They just happened to draft all the right pieces and didn't have to make any major moves after that.
Nobody's talking about how Luka makes the Lakers better or worse. They're only talking about him in contrast to LeBron, which tells you everything you need to know. The first time I heard the story, the quote that they led, or the thing that they led with was, LeBron is drunk with playing with Luka. Not this is what Luka will do for the Lakers. Not this helps them on whatever Luka or LeBron has dreamed of playing with Luka. So it's like this is just another move that's clearly branding. It's the same reason why he's on the court mic'd up saying this is 40 all the time. Nobody talks like that in real life unless they're trying to sell something. Yeah. Just like you mentioned Melo, Robin. When they brought Melo on, LeBron, he said, quote unquote, now is our time. Douchebag, your time should have been, 5-6 years ago when Melo was coming out of his prime, not when nobody else wanted him and you couldn't sign anybody else on contract. Just everything is just, I don't know. This is just another move that's orchestrated. It's really easy to see through.
Let me catch up with a few super chats. Stump says maybe LeBron is into superstition and finally retires in his 23rd season because he wants to be 23 so bad. Maybe that's why.
I want to say something to all the people out there in the chat that keep asking me why I'm yelling. Don't worry about why I'm yelling, man. This is my personality. Don't worry about you be you, I'll be me. Everyone can be themselves in this world, man. So don't worry about me yelling. Just listen to what I'm saying, you fools. I'm educating you clowns.
It's
don't
my
watch
job.
Me, watch TV.
It's my job to worry about whether or not he's yelling.
I can't tell if he yells anymore anyways.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. I was gonna. Robin's yelled. I haven't even noticed. Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, but you guys said something earlier though. You guys just touched on. Speaking like you said, everyone's focusing on the wrong thing here. Like I see some people in the chat talking about what Anthony Davis does for the Mavericks. And yes, if you think about right now on paper, right now, the Dallas Mavericks look like a very formidable team. Like you mentioned earlier, Anthony Davis can now play the power forward position, which puts him in a much better or more comfortable, mindset going into these games. So if you have a healthy Kyrie Irving, which is very important, a healthy Kyrie Irving and an engaged Kyrie Irving, you need hopefully Kyrie Irving's okay with this move too, because we all know how mentally unstable Kyrie Irving can be. So if Kyrie Irving doesn't, oh my God, Luka Doncic is gone now. How does he feel about this move?
Cash, thank you. Luka being traded before Zion for being fat is crazy. Let's see. Bladed Raider again with another chat. Thank you. I could honestly see a scenario with Bronny having an exceptional career that really takes off on second shift at Starbucks. LeBron should be proud. Oh boy.
Second shift at Starbucks. Hey, that pays time and a half. Don't sleep on that.
Oh, well, I'll keep that in mind because apparently I'm screwed after LeBron retires, according to the ridiculously small-minded, moronic Brontards with their own channels out there.
Oh yeah, you won't have anything else to talk. None of us. It's over. It's over after this.
Listen, I started a video on this. People, I plan on this being over with. If I'm still doing this years from now, I'll be disappointed in myself.
It'll just be another way to talk about him. I mean, he's not going anywhere.
No.
Even after he retires, he'll still be in the news.
Do people think that those channels are going to stop talking about him when he retires?
Right.
Right. They haven't stopped talking about Michael Jordan. Listen, as long as they keep trying to rewrite the history and, like I said, create these narratives, that's what it's always been about. It's not about LeBron James, man. See, the problem for the LeBron James fans, all these idiots out here, is they fail to realize the simple thing. Everything around LeBron James is narratives and lies. That's everything is driven. Like we just mentioned earlier, they're already trying to create narratives around this trade. So what we're doing is setting the record straight. If they kept the facts and the honest truth about LeBron James, then there would be no channels like us even out here. If LeBron James wasn't flopping around, then AOH wouldn't have any video footage to put out. If LeBron James wasn't standing in the corner and just standing around, and then all of a sudden his man makes a cut and gets the ball and dunks it, and LeBron James puts his hands up and looks at his teammate, if he wasn't doing that, you wouldn't have the video footage to put out. So once again, this on LeBron James and the things that are going on, we're setting the record straight.
It's a lot.
It is. Where do we go next? I'll read Cash. We wanted the rushing record this season. Genie Bus. Yeah, that's funny. Hey,
How
Zay.
do you trade Max Christie? The only kind of defensive person on your team.
That's not true, though. That's part of the narrative. Like
he was decent.
Yeah, I'm not crapping on him. I'm just saying we don't give the other Lakers enough credit
Oh well, yeah.
because
Yeah,
we
listen,
repeat.
when I see Ramona Shelburne talking about Kobe Bryant, the Lakers getting Pau Gasol, like I said, it's a slap in the face because what they're doing is they're trying to rewrite history and make you forget when the Lakers were trying to acquire Chris Paul from the New Orleans Hornets and how David Stern nixed that deal because he felt that that would have created an unfair advantage or it would have created not balance, in the league. So if we think about those things, that's what that would have moved would have been more like. Them getting Chris Paul at that moment, that would have been the same thing or similar to what we see now. Not the Pau Gasol move, man. Pau Gasol was not an All-NBA first team all these years, an MVP caliber. Like you mentioned earlier, this guy's like a runner-up to the MVP, Luka Doncic. That wasn't Pau Gasol, man. Weren't the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals last year, guys? I'm pretty sure they were. Was Pau Gasol leading his team to a finals appearance in Memphis? No, he wasn't. It's nothing like that, man. But they try to create this narrative around these moves, man. It's not the same.
Nope. Cameron, thank you for the super chat. This is Adam Silver trying to boost ratings. I mean, it could be like
absolutely.
we already said earlier. It's just a gimmick show. It's just a soap opera.
That's a sad reality, man. You know what I didn't realize about my man 93 Zay when you had the show yesterday and I was listening to him is that he used to be a LeBron James fan, he said. And now he completely converted to like opening his eyes and being like, damn, this guy's not what I thought he was. He talked about his older cousin, showing him that. And, he was influenced by that. But when I heard him speaking, he started talking about how, he felt bad, or he felt like duped almost, like that he had been blinded this whole time, man. And that's what you hear from a lot of people now. It's almost like, damn, the NBA's at this point now, like you feel bad. Like we're almost, like I said, because we're true fans, we're upset about what the league has turned into, the All-Star game, things like this. I mean, think about people who buy Luka Doncic jerseys. You're walking around with the Mavericks Luka Doncic jersey now. Well, now, how do you feel about that? I mean, when I grew up watching the game, you can feel confident in buying the superstar player's jersey. You can feel comfortable buying Dave Robinson's jersey. You can feel comfortable buying Reggie Miller's jersey or Michael Jordan's jersey or Gary Payton's jersey. You know what I'm saying? Or Hakeem Olajuwon's jersey or Karl Malone or John Stockton's jersey. You felt comfortable buying these jerseys because these guys weren't going nowhere, man. They were on them teams and they felt good about it. One of the things you think about is they say that, the team got rid of Luka Doncic because his contract was going to be up and they weren't sure if he was going to re-sign with them. But why would they feel that way? Because these guys have no loyalty anymore. They're not loyal, man. What is that song called? These hoes ain't loyal, man. They're not loyal, these guys. So you have to feel that way as a franchise. Let me get rid of this guy before I lose him for nothing.
Arizona anime fan listening to Clutch Clowns on ESPN claim LBJ had no clue this was going down just proves Clutch Sports collusion with Nico Harrison, the Mavs GM, is guaranteed. What we haven't talked that much about whether or not Luka wanted this. Luka might want to go to LA. I mean, as long as you're going to be rich and nobody's playing for love of the game anymore, why not live in LA instead of Dallas? I mean, then again, California now has tornadoes, hailstorms, earthquakes, and tsunamis. So maybe not. Did I mention the fires? Did I miss that one?
There's fires in LA? I didn't know that. Climate change isn't real. I forgot.
Well, that's the reason that LeBron lost that game and no one else.
Oh, he was thinking too hard about the LA fires.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be a crazy clash of cultures just in terms of, with LeBron wanting to be so in front of the camera with everything and Luka really not being as he doesn't put on as much of an act. So when you see them having their fake handshakes and their fake lingo and him having his nickname for Luka by today, probably it'll be something stupid. It'll be this forced camaraderie that, again, is not true. And it's going to be even worse when they may not even make, they'll probably make the Western Finals, I feel like, but they're not going to win a chip. And this is going to mess with LeBron's triple doubles too. So what happens when he starts scoring 17 points a game, 18 points a game, but only has 9 rebounds?
If I see Luka participate in LeBron James's bullshit handshake ceremony, I'm going to stab something.
I promise you, I'll put a bet on it right now. I promise you he will within a week.
Well, think about the scenario. I mean, if he doesn't, that's a statement. So you kind of almost have to just to not make a statement. you're almost like pressured into, oh my God.
Mhm.
How dare anyone say, you know what, your handshake ceremony is a little goofy. Let's just focus on the game. But
We've been
how
doing this
dare
handshake for like 6 minutes. Can we do jump ball, please?
Yeah. The Sandman comes through again. Luka is a 25-year-old LeBron. I think he is LeBron's replacement, and they want to trade LeBron, and that would be great for LA. Yeah, I guess. I had no fucking idea. It's so weird. Who knows? I can't picture after everything LA's done for LeBron. Then again, I don't understand how LA has a future. I don't understand how LA makes any moves at all, because I feel like they've used everything that they have to appease LeBron James every single year, and yet every single year they have more to work with. How?
Right. You're right, Airways. That's what you were talking about, man. You're hitting it right in the head. How are they, once again, they have 24, 25, 26, 27 guys on their roster throughout the season. It's ridiculous how many players are always on and off the roster with LeBron James teams. And this highlights what people say is the narrative. Oh, LeBron James never gets any help from the organizations. These people are bending over backwards for him everywhere he goes. That's why he has all these people on the roster. I tell you, I challenge LeBron James fans right now. Go look at the names on the rosters, man. It's ridiculous, the names on the rosters that LeBron James has been on. Guys like Antoine Jameson, like I mentioned before, man. Guys like Carlos Boozer played with LeBron James, man. You forget about these guys. All these guys like I said, man, we all know guys like Ray Allen, right? All these guys have played with LeBron James, man. A lot of guys, man.
I'm actually working on a video that shows how many transactions were made at the beginning of LeBron's career to try and appease him at the beginning, just focusing on the very beginning compared to what was done to surround Michael Jordan with talent. You know, and people have really got to put more appreciation into the fact that you drafted people and it worked out or it didn't. That just doesn't exist anymore. It's all mercenary free agent trading now. There's no, oh, you're stuck with your draft pick, and you either have someone who drafts well or you don't. Speaking of drafts, I don't know how the Lakers are going to have anyone to draft for their future, but then again, it doesn't seem like it's mattered. They keep making their moves.
They still have one pick. They still have one first round pick after all this somehow. Like you said, how do they wait? Their salary cap is like $2 billion. It's insane.
Bladed Raiders.
Funny. Someone wrote down here that, we're crying and we're hating, on LeBron James or the Lakers. I'm not hating on them. I'm glad they made this move. This is not helping the Lakers out. Do you really believe, you fools, that this made the Lakers better? You guys getting Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis? That's not making the Lakers better. Are you kidding me, man? Once again, they get nothing that they needed. They didn't get what they needed. What they need to be a good team this year, at least anyways, is rebounding and defense. Luka Doncic is not giving them a down low presence. Once again, that's what they need, is rebounding and defense, because LeBron James ain't doing that. So
it's not over.
They got Luka Doncic. No one's hating on this move. That's great for them.
It's not over. The trade deadline isn't here. They're gonna get a super center too.
their trade line is dead. They have a trade deadline of like March or April, while everyone else's is done in February. Somehow.
And then there's these loopholes. Then there's these loopholes in which you can still acquire somebody because of their special contract,
like Tristan Thompson or somebody random. It'll be what's his face. It'll be Dwight Howard this year. Watch, just randomly, he'll just come up.
Oh, I've got Mark Quibion Black. Thank you for your super chat. I have someone is in the call room. It's Zay.
Hey. Zay.
Wow, we got a full house. Full house. Welcome to the show.
What up, Zay?
My God.
Yo, what up?
What up?
What's up, y'all? I appreciate y'all adding me in here.
Hey,
my God, into the NBA last night.
Yeah, do you wanna vent about that for a little bit? We started the show with that, and now we've been on the Luka thing. Give us your take on the softness of Karl Anthony Towns.
Karl Anthony Towns is a bitch. I'm sorry. I gotta say it, man. He is a bitch. You 7'1" and you can't get a rebound. He got 6 rebounds last night. He was 3 of 12 from the floor with no AD on the court.
Yeah.
What?
I was watching him miss shots pretty close to the rim, and it's just like, he couldn't be bothered to like put any effort into his shots. It's like if I catch it here and can't make it here uncontested, then I guess it's just not going to happen tonight.
He being guarded by Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent. I'm like, there's no way this is possible, man. You're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on a 7-foot bum. Knock it off.
Didn't he
man.
get
The
choked
NBA
out?
is in trouble.
Cat got choked out on
You
national
said what?
television, didn't he?
No,
So
that's
he got
Gobert.
choked out.
Oh,
No,
that's
like a
Gobert.
couple
He's
years
the
ago,
one.
before Gobert. I'm pretty sure Cat was on the ground yelling about something. He got choked out by somebody. It was before Gobert.
Oh, is that true?
Give me a sec. I'll look it up.
I can't keep up.
I gotta see, because I know Draymond was treating Rudy Gobert like a trash bag, just dragging him down the court. Like, man, this is just unbelievable.
Good old Draymond. He's just like his buddy LeBron. He goes for the weakest target on the court and shows
The
off.
greatest
Oh, for
defender in
sure.
NBA's history.
It was a fight between Embiid and
model.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Who?
Karl Anthony Towns and Embiid. It was a Sixers.
But I'm about to
Sixers
watch that
Timberwolves
right
game.
now.
Oh my
It's a
God,
big-
that's gotta be
he's on the
softest
ground.
thing that's ever happened.
He's on the ground being pinned down, yelling and screaming. It's very difficult to watch, honestly.
Really, all I can
It's-
picture
yeah.
is them falling
He
on
said it's
each other.
difficult to watch.
It is very difficult to watch. Not to get us too off topic.
Yo, we gotta get ready for the 12 o'clock show.
Oh,
Christ, it's
shit,
already
already?
11:57. Oh, my
God damn, we are cooking right now.
Y'all
Oh,
boys
Ben
cooking,
Simmons, that's
man. Y'all
even
bringing
worse.
that heat
Ooh.
this morning.
NBA was better in the 80s with a super chat. Question is, will Luka use LeBarry Bronze Peds? Yeah, maybe that's how. I heard Kendrick Perkins or one of the guys say that LeBron's leadership will be what inspires Luka to get into shape. Stop it. Stop.
You got
it.
2 traffic cones on defense right now. You got a construction zone set up in the paint right now, man. It's
Sticking a
knock it off.
needle in your ass.
So,
Sticking a needle in your
Right.
ass is leadership. Then yeah, maybe he can inspire him a little bit.
yeah, but what if Luka gets all jacked? What if he gets in
See,
shape
y'all,
all of a sudden?
Listen, LeBron's going to be a lead
I got a question
blocker.
for the Lakers fans. Do the Lakers fans feel like their future is in good hands with Luka and Bronny James? That's what I gotta know.
Yup.
For Space Jam 3, yeah, definitely.
Space Jam 3.
Yep.
Yo,
All right,
yo,
Space Jam 3 International.
I'm gonna catch you guys on the Sunday show, man. I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta do something real quick before I get on the other live.
Okay, we'll be over there in a little
Yo,
in
bit.
a second.
9 Zay, man. Yo, be good, man.
Hey, be safe, my brother. Appreciate you.
All right, Robin, see you in a few.
Sports and fitness. All right.
Well, who thinks that it's going to be magical between Kyrie and AD, or is something going to go wrong before we even have a chance to find out?
Nah, I mean, man, that's my finals pick right now because you got the Twin Towers down there. I don't know how you're gonna get a rebound. How can you get a rebound with AD and Gafford down there? Then you got Lively coming in once he comes back. I don't see how you can get a rebound. Keep
I
it
hope
real.
so.
Like, I think that it's gonna be a championship recipe. That's a championship recipe right there.
Okay,
Me
so we're talking
personally.
about Luka left, Morris left, and Keebler, Maxey,
Maxey
Softy leaving. But like, what's the floor going to be? It's going to be Kyrie. It's going to be Gafford. It's going to be obviously AD. And
They can go big. They can go PJ. You know what I'm saying? Clay and Kyrie, Gafford, AD. They can go big.
Yo,
That's big right there. That is big.
that's like 130
No
points
dig.
on the board, too.
You know what I mean? Like all
I
the
hope
putbacks, the
AD
pick
balls out. 40 and
the
20 and
Kyrie
talk
and
shit
AD
every
pick
game.
and roll. Oh, facts. Like I don't
I
know
hope
how you gonna stop.
right. Like, yo, I hope when they play the Lakers 40, 20, and 10. I don't care what the other 10 is, but I hope he's allowed to talk all the shit he wanted to all season. But he probably signed some kind of NDA, I'll bet.
Oh, for
I
sure.
was just imagining a lineup of the rosters of the Warriors standing next to the roster lineup of the Mavericks. It's just like don't put the Warriors behind the Mavs, or you won't see anybody. Not a single one of them.
I want to see how many teams score over 100 points on the Mavericks after this trade with a full lineup. because it should be impossible. That paint should be locked down. There should be nobody coming into the paint on the Mavericks. So we're gonna see.
I
Again,
like Milwaukee Dallas
Mm.
as a finals. I think I like seeing. I think that might be decent. I think you'll see Milwaukee in there before you see Boston.
Yeah, I know
This
you ain't gonna see
season
the Knicks in
specifically.
there. The Knicks ain't
Unfortunately,
doing
no.
nowhere near the damn finals. What that performance they put on last night with no Anthony Davis, they should be ashamed of themselves. Tom Thibodeau should have them running laps all day today. All day.
I agree. And just like I said yesterday, I'm afraid to get excited for that Knicks Lakers game because you never know what's going to happen. I'm afraid to get excited for this new look Mavs because something's going to fucking happen.
Let's hope not, man. Let's pray to the basketball guys that nothing happens to them. I told you yesterday on the live, do not put any money on this game. The referees were letting the Lakers act. LeBron was bulldozing, stiff arming. He was doing traveling. They called a travel on him yesterday. You seen that?
That was amazing.
On LeBron?
Yeah, they called a travel on him for the
They
first
called-
time.
I think they called 3 fouls on him. 3 out of his 45 fouls got called last night.
Yeah, that's a surprising statistic right there because he usually has no fouls during the course of a game, which is
He's fouled out of
impossible.
2 games in my entire lifetime. I've seen him foul out of 2 games. In the second one, he got ejected after the 5th foul, or ejected off the court.
No, Hayden Phoenix. We didn't forget Lively. We mentioned Lively.
Oh yeah, we mentioned Lively because them twin towers gonna be alternating. There's gonna be one tower in the game at all times now, so it's gonna be trouble.
What's the free throw differential? What's the free throw differential this season?
For the Lakers?
Lakers now, yep.
Oh, they're number 1. I know that.
No, I'm
They're
saying
the
after
team-
this trade.
Oh yeah, him and Luka finna be getting to the line. Like already, Austin Reeves already gets to the line.
I was going to say Austin Reeves was getting LeBron calls last night.
Yeah.
He's been doing that.
Yeah. With this move, if you need to go, Steam Engine, feel free.
No, I'm good. That's subtle, but thank you. I'm staying.
Ro Sharma, with this move, doesn't it show the Lakers are building for the future with Luka and saying F LeBron? Well, we don't know. Do you believe in Luka for the long haul or do you not? A lot of people are split on that.
I don't know, man. He got to stop eating gummy bears and shit, man. He can't be out, He's looking like that. He got that Carmelo body, that New York Knicks Carmelo body. You know what I
European
mean?
Big Ben.
And you also have to think, okay, is LeBron going to actually leave before Luka's past his prime? Because
I don't think LeBron's
there-
gonna let.
If
Go
LeBron's
ahead.
there another 5 years, like he said, that's 5 more years of Luka's career wasted.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't think LeBron, his ego is gonna allow Luka to come into LA and steal his shine. I don't believe in it.
It's interesting that this would be allowed because it doesn't seem like the right fit unless they're going to lead block for each other illegally. But LeBron has shown a lot that he doesn't live in reality. I think that he has been surrounded by yes men and praised for his failures for so much that he honestly can't see the light. Like he actually doesn't think he does anything wrong. I really think he's that far gone.
Oh yeah, he has guys around him that are like, the royal penis is clean, Your Highness. They shake it for him. You know what I mean? So when you got guys that's shaking it for you like that, you're
throwing honey on each other.
You're in a different dimension of reality. You know what I mean? So I
Doesn't
definitely
this? Oh, my bad. Zay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, but doesn't this reek of like the short-sighted quick fix that like a move that he would make, not thinking of the bigger picture, anyways? Like, doesn't this reek of, well, I heard Luka's on the trading block. Maybe we can win with him now. I don't really care about what happens after that.
Yeah, I think that they need another scapegoat. This is another scapegoat.
Right, exactly.
He's going to be the scapegoat. They're going to say, "Oh, Luka, he's not in shape. He's not this. He's not that." Like, you think Luka's going to come to LA and go vegan? Like, he's not going to eat at all these 5-star restaurants and top chefs and get invited all these places to come out and eat. Like, knock it off.
Well, they're getting better at that. They might trick him. Just don't tell him. Just don't tell him what's in it, and you might be able to trick him into losing some weight.
He's
Grandpa
going to be on that Ozempic.
They had
You're
the
going to see
nerve.
Luka Ozempic. Watch.
They
That
had the
doesn't get
nerve
you in
to say
shape,
that.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
They had the nerve to say that LeBron knew nothing about this. Like LeBron is out eating Kobe beef, eating caviar, and just didn't even know what happened. Like, knock it off. Like, you really expect us to believe that LeBron wasn't consulted about Anthony Davis being traded for Luka? You fanboys need help. I could turn $3 into 3,000. Just hit my Cash App. Come on.
Grandpa loves the people says the Lakers may not be done making moves. And, the sad thing is, I think you're right. You'd think that this is where you finally cap out and have done the most absurd thing and gotten LeBron the most absurd other superstar. And nope, I really don't think they're done.
I don't think they're done either. I think they're going to try to trade for a big. They got that last first round pick. That's 2031, I mean. So they got no picks the rest of this decade. You know what I mean? They're leveraging their whole entire future for right now, I guess, for LeBron's
Oh, but they
final 2
do.
years.
We don't know how to explain it, but they do. They have picks. I don't know where they're coming from, but they keep having them. They've got picks to trade.
They're trading 2040 picks, man. Like, how you trade picks 15 years from now, man? Knock it off.
The wildest part is there really aren't any moves on the board that's going to make them a championship team. This does not make them a championship team. Like, that's the wildest part.
As constructed, no. Because, I mean,
of course.
Jackson Hayes is not a real center. He's not aggressive enough. The only time he aggressive is when there's a white girl around.
I was going to say when he's beating his girlfriend on camera. That's it.
He's spitting on shit, man. Like, come on. Knock it off.
You mentioned how these guys all have the same girlfriend in your video, and I meant to bring that up yesterday. Isn't that freaking pathetic? Like, these women on the planet, you're a superstar and you're rich. Like, all you have to do is open the front door and pick one that's lined up waiting. I mean, why do you got to pick from the same circle that your friends are feeding from?
Exactly. You go to Starbucks, you can go to Target, you can go to the doctor's office. There's so many different places you can go and find a girl. But Brandon Ingram and Fernie Simmons got the same baby mom. Knock it off.
Look at Paul George and Matt Barnes. They're still fighting over the same chick years later.
And that lets me know that some of these guys, they never been outside. A lot of these guys have never been outside.
Yeah. There's a problem with getting rich and famous too soon. You never grew up.
Yep. You've been praised your whole entire teenage years because they think you're going to the league, so you're not around to see the fakeness. You don't understand what's real and what's fake yet. Your mind isn't fully developed as a man until you hit 25, 26, 27, So a lot of these guys are still kids in the mind.
I guess that happened a little bit in high school, but I grew up in a small town where we only had 3 hot girls at some point. At some point in time, there's only 3 girls to choose from. These NBA fans have the entire planet of supermodels to choose from,
and they all choose the same 7. It's all 7 of them. They choose the same 7 women. It's crazy.
And yes, LeBron fans, I recognize the Larsa Pippen thing. I think it's weird too. It's really freaking weird.
It's disgusting.
I don't get it. I can only sympathize with Jordan. I mean, about the best thing he can do is just keep his mouth shut. If he tries to say something about it, it's only going to make it worse.
That's why Scottie is spinning out.
That's on Scottie Pippen, man. Yeah. Scottie Pippen got no game. He started dressing like Chester the Cheetah. He started dressing like Future. You know what I'm saying? He started getting braids like Scottie, man. You need a dating coach or something, man.
Dressing like your cuck or whatever that's called. That's
wild. Like Future was making songs saying he was fucking his girl in Gucci flip-flops, man.
Right.
Go grab the gun. Go get the gun or something, Scottie. Like, Scottie, you can't allow these people to make a mockery of you and your woman like that.
Oh, man. Well, we should go over to the other show. I appreciate everybody that joined in on the early morning ranting. Hey, Zay, if you're interested, I'll run it by them to see if you want to be a member of the show or come on occasionally.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me know. Just send me that email.
We need to chop it up for sure.
We need
Before I
someone.
go,
We need someone
I
to.
did,
We
my
need
bad,
someone
y'all.
to replace Steam Engine.
Yeah. Why don't you let him talk? Let's say talk, please. Thank
Go,
you.
Jose. Go.
Now, before we go, I did just drop my video, my breakdown of this trade. So if y'all do want to hit
Oh,
my page up, beat the comment section up, because you know I'm gonna be in there. I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate you guys for letting me come on here and talk my shit. Thank you.
it's 93Z TV and at Steam Engine. If you want to go to their channels, you will find absolutely nothing on Steam Engine's channel.
I was
but
gonna
you
say
go
I
there
have way
anyway.
more than both of these guys combined, so it's fine.
Thank y'all, man.
Yeah,
I rock with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all letting me in this space, man.
Appreciate you being here, and appreciate everybody that came through. And thank you for the super chats. And we'll see you over on the Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best. Of course, I have that streaming on my channel too. Speem, do you have that running on your channel today?
Of course, I don't. Also, Zay, you owe me $1 of the $2 I gave to you guys yesterday. No taxes on that. Don't worry.
All right.